Hey, I'm gonna get on here and just be a little vulnerable with you guys for just a little bit. Most of you guys probably know that the reason I started She Walks in Wellness was not because I'm super passionate about being physically fit or eating whole foods or all of those things and those whats that you can get anywhere. There's so many people out there today that can provide you with that information and tell you what's important for your physical health. But my why, my mission is to create a place where we go deeper than that and we look at the other things that impact our wellness. Things like learning how to let go of our kids and being okay in here. Things like learning how to use our voice to speak our truth and to have a healthy way of processing our emotions so that we are in a good place. Because this season is not easy, this season of navigating these changes all around us. And so I wanted to share a little glimpse of my struggles this morning because I thought maybe you could relate, and I thought it might be helpful to know that that I have days that I still struggle. And so this morning, this is the last day that my oldest daughter, Kaylin, and her husband, Zach, will be with us. They'll be headed back to Auburn tomorrow. We'll see them again after Christmas on the 26th through about, I guess, the 1st. And so we'll still have a good extended time with them then. But it's just really fast approaching when they're getting ready to leave to move overseas. So that's hard. Excuse me. And so I've had an amazing last week with them. And I'm really, for the last year, I've been really working on getting my thoughts right and my heart right around this, being able to let go and just to, to get my own life and recognize that it's time to move on and to pour into, my gifts and my passions into the world and other places over, you guys just like me have been pouring yourselves into your children for so many years, and we love it. It's just nurturing is just who we are. Caring about other people's well-being is just who we are. And so it becomes difficult when they leave the nest and we raise them to be independent, and then they go off and they are successfully independent, and they do really well and do amazing things in the world. And we're super happy and super excited for that. But it takes some transition to figure out how to shift from having our hearts so directed towards them. How do we navigate that and to do it well, Number one, I think, is we need to be compassionate with ourselves and recognize that it's going to take some tears, and it's going to take some discomfort. It's going to take some unknowns to navigate that, and that's just part of the process, and to be okay with that. Number two is just beginning to see ourselves as more than just a mom, to see how God wants to use us in the second half of our lives in incredible ways to bless the people around us. This is an exciting time for us that we get to look at new adventures and new possibilities and so many things. But yeah, in so doing, I know your longing, like mine, is to get into a place of health and wellness where when they come to see us, we're able to just be there for them and to be full and to give from that full cup and to not be needy of their attention, because that doesn't feel good, and it probably repels them. And so I've been working really hard on that for the last year and feeling like I've been doing really well with it. But I guess one of the things that I've been struggling with is not having time with my daughter just one-on-one, having to share her with her husband and with her, new family, his in-laws, and it can be difficult, and it's difficult to communicate that because we worry, at least I do. I'll give you an example. I've had some great times with him over the last week, but I haven't really had any time with just her. My youngest daughter is struggled with that as well. She'll say, Mom, I don't want to share her. I just want to do something with her. Why does Zach have to always be there? And, they're newlyweds, and so they're just used, she hasn't reached that phase where she's looking for time away from him yet. And so Camden and I are having to learn how to navigate that and just do things with them together. And anyway, I suggested to her the other day for Camden's birthday to just take her shopping by herself, and that maybe her sister would like some one-on-one time. And so they did that, and Camden even mentioned to me that night how special that was to her, and that she was really surprised by it and thankful for it. And so this morning I actually sent a little text to Kaylin as I left to take Camden to school and said, hey, I'd love to, for us to do something together today, even if it's just an hour. Maybe it's cooking dinner together, or watching a Hallmark movie together, or something. I'd love to, do something. I said my work can wait, and just let me know what you'd like to do. And she reached back and said, hey, yeah, we could watch a movie later and cook dinner. That sounds great. Zach and I are thinking about going to a coffee shop this morning. Just, that probably wouldn't be any fun for you. And anyway, so I was totally fine with that and excited about that. And thought that would be nice. I'm learning how to connect with her differently. She's a lot like her daddy in that she is not really a conversationalist. And so we don't really sit down and have deep talks or anything like that. And that's kind of the way I connect with people. So it's something I've been having to learn to navigate with her, is that sometimes we connect better just by doing things alongside each other, and then just let conversation happen naturally if it's going to. But sometimes just being with her in the quiet is her love language. And so, sitting and watching a movie together, or just cooking next to each other, which is huge, because over the last year, that's not been something, we used to do that when she was in high school, and I loved it, baking with her. And when she's come home from college, she hasn't wanted to engage in that. I think she just wants some time to be spoiled and for someone to cook for her. And so she's finally starting to come back to the kitchen and spend some time with me, just a little bit. And so that actually was a great thought for us to do together tonight. But anyway, we got all ready. I got ready for my day, went to the Y, came back. They were getting ready. And then as they left to go to the coffee shop, I even mentioned, hey, I may join you there later just to get out and get some work done. I'll sit at a different table or whatever. But then they left, and it just the tears came. And it just hit me. And I was just like, Kate, you didn't really tell her what you wanted. I would have liked to have gone to the coffee shop just with her. She doing her thing and me doing my thing, and just sitting across the table from each other. I would have really enjoyed that. But now I'm like, I'm not going to go, steal in on their time together. And I just had to sit down and have a good cry. Because I was frustrated with myself, number one, for not voicing what I really wanted. But we don't do it because we're worried. Maybe we're worried we'll be rejected and they don't want it too, or worried we're being needy. I don't know, so many reasons that get in the way of, assumptions that come up. And that's one of the things that I really am working on and learning how to overcome, is those assumptions, those thoughts that get in the way of us just being honest about our needs and our desires, and it can create a lot of hurt and bitterness and things that can come between us in our relationships. And so, the thing I have to ask myself this morning is, what am I making this mean? Am I making this mean that she didn't want to spend time with me? She didn't say that. I think if I had just voiced it earlier in the week, hey, why don't we go steal away for a couple hours? I'd love to just treat you to brunch, and let's just, work alongside each other, or, but I don't know why I didn't do that. Things just kept coming up. I guess I do know why I did that. I worry that we're leaving Zach out, and I worry about his well-being, and so there's that, and that's one of the things that I think we have to get over. We put everyone else's well-being ahead of our own, and then we're left sitting in a living room by ourselves crying, right? Because we didn't really express what we were looking for. And so I'd love to know if this is a challenge for you and how you're navigating it. How can I support you in this? How can we communicate about this together so that we're learning how to voice our heart and I don't know, I think it's key to find that balance between not coming from a place of need, already having my needs met. I'm already doing what I need to fill me up, and so that when I do see them, I'm full, and I can be okay with them going off to the coffee shop and being fine. But that also takes speaking up and being honest and being truthful, and maybe saying, hey, let's plan this afternoon together, and then, because my heart does long for that. So admitting that need and being honest about it, I think, is important if we want to have healthy relationships. And so, it's crazy because I'm navigating this with several of my clients right now, showing them how to communicate their truth, how to state what they want without it in a way that's helpful to the other party. And it just that creates healthy relationships. We talk a lot about desires and communication and different things. And it's funny because, a lot of times what they're struggling with mirrors my own struggles. So this isn't something I've mastered. It's something I'm working on, but I've got to reach out and get my own help with it at times because, there's just wirings and patterns that we do that we'll revert back to them a lot. And as a helper, that's just what I do sometimes. And so anyway, I just wanted to just reach out and be vulnerable and honest with you today and just say, hey, if you're struggling with that this Christmas, this holiday season, just knowing how to navigate, just wanting your kids close that are not there very long, just know that I see you and I feel you, and let's keep doing this together, okay?